Alright, in this one I want to talk about eye area and how to fix a negative orbital vector. So if you draw a straight line from the limit of your eyes, you can actually detect whether your bone structure puts you into which of these categories. If you're below the line, you have a negative orbital vector. If you're above the line, you have a positive one. If it goes across the line, it's a neutral one. Here are some examples of negative orbital vectors. You can tell that does not touch the line. It lacks projection. Here's another example. If you draw a straight line, the bone structure lacks behind the line, so it's not ideally projected. Same with this one. The bone structure is behind that imaginary vertical line. And same with this one. This guy also has a negative orbital vector. Ideally, you want a positive one from both hard tissue and soft tissue. And this guy has the complete opposite. So here's how you actually fix it. Different people have different takes, but here's how I would fix it. So number one, if you have a negative orbital vector, I think the best idea is to use both infraorbital rim implants and fat grafting. Because usually when people have negative orbital vectors, they have both a lack of bone projection and also of soft tissue. But you don't want fillers here because they can migrate, and they can migrate more or less depending on the area. But this is an especially bad area if you want to put hyaluronic acid fillers. Jaw fillers, they have a lower risk of migration, but the risk still exists. However, with things like eye area, there's just a much higher risk. So if you have a negative one, I would do both the infraorbital rim implants and also the fat grafting. So you have to analyze your side profile to see if you actually fall into this category. Next is if you have a neutral orbital vector, I think fat grafting is usually enough, because in this case, you're not going to need to correct that much lack of projection anyway, and fat grafting is usually enough to bridge the gap. And personally, I would avoid cheek filler or zygo filler. Also cheek implants, I haven't really seen the before and after that looked good personally. And yeah, the filler is, like I mentioned, you have the risk of migration, especially when it comes to areas that move a lot, for example, the eye area. So I wouldn't use under eye filler, I wouldn't use zygo filler, and I would use the fat grafting instead, because there's no evidence that it causes a migration risk. And it may not be permanent, but it is what it is. You need both the hard tissue and soft tissue if you want to fix the negative orbital vector problem. So that's what I would do in each scenario. Of course, if you have a positive vector, you probably don't need anything. And if you do, you might need a little bit of fat grafting, but usually you don't. The people that should be considering this, they should look kind of like one of the images that you are seeing on screen. So yeah, that's my take. Stay away from fillers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And let me know what you want me to cover next.